Thank you, Tony. Great presentation. So before starting with my real presentation, I would like to thank a few people that have been crucial in the implementation of this conference. I'll start with Alexandra. Without her, we wouldn't be able to have the websites and everything that is going with that. Becky, thank you very much, Becky, for all the organization. And clearly Ian, who is the masterhead of all this organization. I didn't do much. I would like to thank again as well my team, Konstantina, for all the organization with the hotel and the rest. I hope that you're here not because of the food and everything around Athens, but for the conference itself, clearly. So that means that next year we're going to do it again in Athens because of the content. My presentation will be a little bit different. I'm not going to touch the technical issues because I'm not that savvy. You know a lot more than me. So, but I'm going to stick to start with a small introduction of what we achieved up to now. We have been more or less 15 months down the line. I must admit that when we started the project, there has been some resistance from the various stakeholders about the project itself and about what we are trying to achieve with this project. We managed to engage with most stakeholders that are in this industry. The good thing as well, and I would like to thank again Ian, and I believe it was Ian and it was John as well, that helped extremely on that front, in order to be able to have people from all those stakeholders as representatives in the advisory board. And that advisory board was crucial, I believe, for the success of the project, because I believe the project was a success, up to now at least, and we're left with 3 months. Now, what we achieved as well in terms of technical issues, we managed to deliver a technical infrastructure that shows that it is feasible. The interoperability between the different AV parental consent providers is feasible. It's not something that, you know, we're discussing, we're talking about that. It is feasible. We've showcased that. Possibly the technology is a little bit outdated, it needs to be revised and all that, but these are things that we have to discuss in the future. But it works. The other thing that for me it was critical from the beginning of the project is that we didn't concentrate only on achieving something technical, but it was also talking to people and talking to everybody that was involved in this process, and talking especially to children, parents, families, adults, as well as all the other stakeholders in this industry. And this is something that was mainly the work of the academics. I would like to thank them all. The other thing that was additionally a good thing for this project was that I believe that we have arrived to the point where we have achieved recognition across the board. The fact that the Better Internet for Kids policy writes our name, the project's name, inside it means a lot for us. So overall, we can say that it has been a success. The project up to now has been a success, and it has been recognized by the Commission as well. So what's next? Okay. So one of the things that I would like to mention is that EU consent is not a project. It's not yet another project. It was a pilot, and it's about to finish, but it has to be something more than that. It has to be a concept which is similar, like telecom roaming, like credit card acceptance, like all those networks that operate efficiently in order to help the various stakeholders work together without bottlenecks in reality. And in a way that is not centralized as well, because this is one of the first principles that I put from the beginning. Even in the technical implementation of the project, not being centralized was a cornerstone of our work. So, but having a network like that, okay, needs to be a recognized authority. Okay, we're not expecting that the new EU consent, we might keep the same name, but we might change the name. I like changing names, by the way. Those of you that know me for a few years now have noticed that our company changed twice the name. But I believe that if we don't have a legacy, then we can always change the name and make it a little bit more attractive to the various stakeholders. But we need to become a recognized authority. But in order to be able to do that, And we have challenges ahead. This is something I forgot to mention. We have challenges ahead. We have eIDAS 2 that is coming. Let's be honest, it's not going to come tomorrow. It's going to take some years because before eIDAS 2 will be implemented. Okay, but we have to be ready and we have to prepare ourselves and we have to work on that at every level. As I said before, the project was not only about technical implementation. The project was about talking to users, implementation, testing, dissemination activities, standardization activities, and all that, because I don't believe that a network like that can work without standardization. I think you mentioned before that one of the problems in the implementation in the UK was that the standardization was not mandatory for everybody. We don't want to have nodes, let's say, members in that network that are not certified. This is something that is out. It was agreed from the beginning of the project as well. So we don't want to make the same mistakes. We're going to make other mistakes, like everybody. But we don't want to make the same mistakes again. And then secondly, Better Internet for Kids Plus. This puts a new dimension in Europe that is coming, I believe, is coming more with an influence from other countries. I don't want to mention. But clearly, the Better Internet for Kids is the new plus is something that brings the status in Europe at the same level of countries that are more advanced in that area. So it's a challenge because it represents a challenge in every respect. It could be in respect of technology, in respect of standards, in respect of implementation, in respect of everything. So these are challenges that in order to be able to address those challenges, we need resources. We can't do that without having people that are dedicated to that task and being able to work on this activity. Now, what are the next day options? Okay? It's clear that we have two options. The one option is to go strong and to say, we're going to have a private entity that is going to manage that activity, just like GSMA for the telecom activities, just like a Visa or MasterCard for the credit cards and the others, but it's going to be a private entity that has to exist in order to be the umbrella of all the activity that will take place in this domain. It has to have a continuous technological evolution. Okay, we have to be able to provide new standards, new contracts, new guidelines to the members of the network in order to be able to work efficiently and effectively in that domain. We have to increase the market penetration. Therefore, you need some sort of marketing activity, some sort of funding. You need money to do that. Okay, we need to enforce rules and processes, so you need people to do that. We see that ICO or BBFC are actively looking for sites and service providers that are not compliant. I mean, if you're expecting somebody to call you and say, hey, you know, that site is not enforcing age verification, you're lost completely. It doesn't work. So there is a need for immediate funding, okay? Let's be clear. And if the Commission is listening to us, hello, we're here, we need some money. Okay, so the other funding model would be that we get money from the market itself. But we know right now that even the major corporates that are working, that the major AV providers that are working in the industry are not making that much money from that specific industry. It's an industry that is growing, it's not delivering a lot of money. Therefore, there is no way that an activity like EU consent will be profitable or at least break even when the members of that activity are not making money. It's impossible. So, but on the other hand, we know that it's going to take some years, but after some years it's going to be profitable for those members. And after those years, the activity itself will be sustainable. We would be able to break even, but not right now. So in order to do that, we need some funding right now. I mean, if you want to continue the activity, what EU consent is doing right now, and continue doing that successfully, as we have proven that we have managed to do up to now, then somebody has to write a check in one way or the other. We're blinking our eye to the Commission because they have written the first check. So possibly it's the time to write the second check. But others are free to write another check if they want. More than happy. Now, the second option is, you don't do that, then the second option is to let it be. Let's wait for the market to react, let's wait for the needs to emerge, increase users' frustration. Generally, people will start using age verification solutions one by one. They go to one site, they have to prove their age in one side, they go to another side, they have to prove their age on another side, because overall the regulatory authorities, they will continue asking for age verification more and more. You see it coming. So the user will get more frustrated. So we can let them be frustrated. It's not a problem. It's not our problem in any case. And generally awaken the desire for more effective controls, because therefore the users will start saying, hey, come on. I mean, I'm sick and tired of going to every website and trying to verify my age again and again and again and again. Because you know what? Even if you have the wallet, it will never be able to say that I'm logging in on the first website with my wallet, and then I go to all the other websites with the session that I created with my wallet in the beginning. I doubt, seriously doubt, that it will ever happen. Even if the wallet exists, and even if the wallet has a penetration of 25% of the European market. And that will happen with our own funding, okay? And clearly, that means that all this activity will happen as a second priority. I mean, if my company doesn't make any money out of that, do you think that I'll put it as first priority to continue working on EU-Consent? Definitely not. I can reassure you right now. It's going to be whenever we have time, and unfortunately, you know, most people in this room, they have a lot of work, so not a lot of free time. So with that little free time, I don't expect that a lot of things will happen. So it is destined to fail. What would you do? So I'm more or less done with my presentation. I would like to thank again, first of all, I'll start with the academics because they started this activity with a great analysis they did in the legal framework, with the end users, with the stakeholders. And I think this work is something that we are proud to show, and you are already showing it with books, with publications, scientific publications. I will continue with the technical teams that did a great job across the board. All the companies that participated in that did a great job. I would especially like the members of the AVPA that were not part of the project, but actually delivered, participated, YOTI and AgeChecked, participated in these implementations, even though they were not funded by the project. I would like to thank as well the work around standards that I believe are critical for the success of any action, any activity in this domain. I would like to thank the work on dissemination and marketing and promoting what we are doing. That is phenomenal. The team around Ian, Alexandra, and the others. And at the end, I have to, I should never forget the work and the help that we got from John and the advisory board. I think that was exceptional. I've never been in a project with so many advisory board members, and all of them committed to giving feedback, real feedback to the project. So thank you all. I'm here for any questions. Thank you very much.